Howdy everyone, it's me once again, the one and only Killer Rodan. And today, of course, I figured I would review yet another Kung Fu movie. Yeah, it's just low budget, of course, it's fairly obscured, and it's a blast from the past. So okay, this seems like something to talk about. More Kung Fu, oh yeah. And just want to highlight some stuff that no one really knows about, really, so here we go. It's the one titled Riders of the Dragon. This is the American dubbed version I'm reviewing here, folks, just so you know. And this is the one that takes place in a more modern day. Well, modern day in 1980, anyway. And yeah, I'm like, it's a mixed bag for me, really, because as I mentioned quite a few times before, I prefer to watch the martial art movies that take place in a specific time period in Asia, because those tend to have more charm to them. Just having them take place in a more modern time is like, I don't know about that. But ultimately, yes, what really matters is the story, of course. Obviously, what ultimately really matters is the plot and the execution, of course. And yes, obviously, the kung fu as well. It's not a martial arts movie if you don't have a bunch of fight scenes, I guess. Anyway, I just thought I'd point that out. That's all. Okay, so there's that. With that being said, oh yes, obviously, as of course. Well, anyway, yada yada yada, blah 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 blah. Of course, as always, let's talk about the plot, shall we? So, let's get into it. Oh, definitely. So, in this one, things get pretty damn crazy because when this young martial artist student gets caught up with gangsters after stealing a map, let's just say that he's kidnapped and but he managed to escape, but must return to the gangster's hideout to rescue his trainer. So it's something that he feels like it's something he must do because he feels like it's 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 a must. He must do the right thing, obviously, and chaos ensues as you can see because this is definitely something that you must rescue somebody as a result because somebody's in danger here, and that's what happened here. Somebody's in trouble, and the main character must make sure the individual is brought back, so to speak. And all right, so yes, of course, the plot line is fairly straightforward, which in itself isn't necessarily a bad thing, as the movie does focus on this mischievous kid, the main character, who gets into a situation with his local gang. He and his master become responsible for dealing with the local gangsters, I guess you would say, involving another one of the master students, and so on and so forth. So, of course, the local gang wants the school to pretty much pay the price. So there's that. By the way, folks, this movie takes place in Los Angeles, where, yes, there's going to be this individual running this martial arts school, and this individual is supposed to be the pillar of Chinese society because of his fame and personality. I don't think this film was trying to make a statement about how Los Angeles is filled with gangs. I like this city is notorious for having this kind of thing going on. Like the whole like I know those the whole thing with the gangsters and whatnot, maybe plague society or whatever. But it's just trying to use this as a setting for the story, and that's it really. It's not trying to make judgments on anybody, at least not in the version I've I'm talking about here, folks. Because like I said earlier, this is the English dubbed version of the film. And some of the dubbing isn't particularly good, really. But then again, that's kind of the typical. Anyway, because the dubbing for the most part is for most of these movies that tend to be kind of bad, and this was no exception to that. Anyway, yeah, the main character here, let's just say he dislikes his father, and is a hero to the young generation, and of course he's pretty much a troublemaker to his father. So let's just say that our main character pretty much starts a fight in a bar and causes his friend to lose his job. So, like, damn it, holy shit. But things do get pretty damn crazy in this movie, and that's pretty much what's going on in the story. I mean, there's other things I would like to discuss here, folks, but I'll just leave it at that because I don't want to spoil too much, really. And just I know this pretty much comes off like a drama, which it could have been, really. But in some ways, this film attempts to be more of a comedy, if anything. But like I told you before, well, anyone who's been watching my videos anyway, I tend not to like kung fu comedies really. And yes, I do realize that it does make sense to do that. Don't get me wrong, it does fit. You can easily do some kind of slapstick comedy with this kinds of stuff. So in that regard, it does fit the style of this. So that's fine. So okay, well the fight scenes. The fight scenes aren't too bad really. The fight scenes are pretty good here, as they attempt to do in this one. But like I said, I prefer these movies to take place in a certain time period. Really, I mean, this is not the worst thing I've seen. I thought this was a pretty decent movie, I suppose, but I've seen better. The fight scenes were fine, I suppose. But all in all, I can say that I would recommend this type of movie only if you have nothing else to do. Really, it's watchable, of course, but in some ways it does fall flat, and it just feel like it doesn't. It's not as inspiring as it should have been. So yeah, I've seen better. I've seen better. I mean, yeah, it still has moments throughout the entire thing. It does go on to do its own kind of story. There's some pretty decent moments. And the one thing I did kind of get annoyed with is that, I mean, yes, there would be some moments where, like, some characters, some Chinese characters trying to do blackface. I'm like, really, people? That's not funny. That's that's not funny at all. And trying to do a whole blackface thing, or having Chinese characters trying to portray Mexicans, like, and whatnot, with these kinds of big old hats and whatever. And just, I don't know, just seems weird to me. Or having white guys in hippie gear. I mean, that's not funny to me. I did not think that was funny at all. And I don't know, maybe just me, I guess. Maybe some people just think I'm just being uptight, really, about some of the things. Whatever. But it's just me, though. I guess I don't find that kind of thing funny at all because in some ways it just feels like it came out of nowhere. Like what the hell? Whatever. Just okay. That seems kind of weird. But like I said, I've seen worse. I've seen worse. I've seen it far better. But this was kind of like whatever you asked me, folks. It was kind of like whatever, as far as I'm concerned. And even the fight scenes weren't quite as good as it should have been. They're okay, I guess, I suppose. But all in all, this was a decent movie. I can't say I care for it. So it's just one of these movies I'll see once, and that's it. I'll just see once. But yeah, maybe just me, I guess. Whatever. Just so yeah, it does seem over the top at times to the point where it just seems laughable. So I guess that's what they were aiming for. That was the goal, I guess. But all in all, I would say this was a disappointment as far as I'm concerned, anyway. And the DVD I watched this from didn't have the best quality picture either. I'm giving this film, at least this version of it anyway, an overall rating of a 6.1 out of 10. It's a 6.1 out of 10 for me. So, of course, as always, thanks for watching and take care. Until next time, see ya. Oh, yeah, later.